Now that, like I said, the next one, I want to make sure that I have enough time to finish here. So. And see this type of drawing. I have one that I did here. I found some of my drawings from last summer. And see this is an example of the next drawing we're going to do, which is positive negative shape drawing. Now we've got the same object, same chair. This one is drawn in in the basic drawing technique, just sketching it in and then erasing and redrawing, and that this is the usual way of drawing. Now this one over here, I made this drawing not so much by drawing the actual chair, but by drawing the empty spaces, or what is called the negative space or the negative shape. And I'm sure who's never done a drawing like this, drawing that deal with positive negative shape?
I have.
You have? Who's this?
Yeah, this is Darby. I just got back from the restroom.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is, yeah, everybody should be familiar with this way. Now, positive negative shape drawing is also referred to as figure ground, like a figure ground drawing. And this is it's a great way to draw. It's a great way to deal with a drawing in a manner that will make in a way it'll make an interesting composition, so look, I'm going to make a drawing of the chair in the positive negative technique, but I'm gonna do it. There's many ways of doing this type of drawing, and look, I'm going to make a. Let me get some charcoal here first. And I want to make sure that I'm going to use a very soft charcoal. I'm going to just make a rectangle here that's like something like 9 by 12, like a regular sheet of paper, right? That's what it represents. Of course, a lot of you guys, I think all of you were using a small sketchbook, so I'm just kind of drawing the format of that paper, right? And we're trying to get a softer charcoal here, so I can I can cover this a lot quicker. And now this is gonna work better with this type of charcoal. This is so here. It's a jumbo willow sketching charcoal. It's a big piece of charcoal. Right? It's very soft, and we can use the side here. This can get a little messy, of course. And if you're a graphic designer, this assignment is great for creating logos or for quickly sketching ideas, doing thumbnails, and because of the contrast that you're going to get very quickly, it's a great way to sketch and get ideas for logos or anything that's very graphic. It has a good separation of the light and shadow. So make it a little more even. So right now, just it works better with a willow charcoal, but it also works with like a charcoal pencil. It'll just be harder to erase. It's positive, negative, figure ground drawing. But this drawing technique is called it's like the opposite of drawing, because you're going to erase the drawing. It's a reductive drawing. Because you're reductive or subtractive drawing because you're removing some of the material. Is it even? All right, so now the way you're gonna make this drawing is move the camera. So I've got the little chair there. And I believe it's pretty much how I sent you the picture. I believe it's posed in the same way. So I'm going to start to erase the drawing. So this might, I'm not going to time myself because this will take a little bit longer. So I'm erasing the charcoal and revealing the white of the paper, but I'm focusing on the shape. Now this is part of the back support. Has a lot of light on there. And this kind of drawing, it it's also great in understanding and practicing foreshortening. Foreshortening is a very difficult concept for a lot of people, a lot of art students to master. It's when an object becomes shorter because of the angle that you're looking at it. So this is and this is forcing me to just kind of, focus on the flat shape that is created by by a three-dimensional object. That's where the light is hitting it. And to see the shape better, I can't see my face, but I'm squinting so I can see the shapes a lot more clear. This is like a decorative element here on the chair. So take your time here to cover your paper with the charcoal, and then you can start erasing. And I'm focusing a lot on just the light, where the light is hitting, the brightest areas. And see that this kind of drawing, because I covered the entire surface, I've addressed the whole drawing already, just by covering it with the charcoal. And it forces me to not just look at the object, but look at the background as well. There's a lot of light hitting it on the seat here. So I'm just focusing on those big shapes. And there's another one of these decorative elements here. They look almost like arm supports here. See too, I'm trying to get a brighter value with that other eraser. I think here the my paper is it's a little feathery, so if the paper was smoother, it would have given me a brighter value. And I see a little bit of the leg here. And this cross brace. And this is creates very dramatic drawings because of the contrast with the light and shadow. Now, as I'm working on this, see this is where if I switch the camera over here, see that's where the light is hitting the strongest, where it's getting those highlights. And so I've just kind of focused on the shape, the shape of the flat shape created by this part of the chair, the seat. And what I'm gonna do, like to clarify the drawing and to focus on the shapes, on the spaces. See, like here, if you look, see if I can point like in there, the background is lighter than the actual chair and the bottom of the seat, and dark is lighter than the leg and then this leg and then those cross braces. So I'm going to erase the space, the empty space, the negative space. And the same thing happens here. I'm drawing the chair by focusing on the areas around. So later on in the semester, if I say, look at the negative space, think back to these drawings. And see here, Yeah, I haven't drawn any lines. I'm just focusing on the shapes and the spaces. Positive, negative shape, positive, negative space. Up here, there's a lot of light on the background. And see, by doing this with the eraser, it forces you to look at the bigger shapes. More illuminated. And then see on this portion here where you have the cast shadows, you see a lot of that nice interaction of spaces and shapes. So this is the figure, you know, when I'm erasing out the figure of the chair, and separating it from the ground. The ground is the background. And see, and again, this is a great way to come up with a composition, with an interesting composition. And you see, I think overall was rather quickly moves. I mean, I can keep doing this till I refine it and it's very precise, but I think this gives you a good idea of this process. And I'm trying to reduce this into just pretty much two values, you know, a dark and a light. So so there you have it. That is positive, negative space, positive, negative shape. So you want to make a notation of that. You want to write it down. So I can write with this big, thick piece of charcoal. It's positive. Shape or space. Like I said, also figure ground. Drawing. So that's, I wanna do a little bit more with this, just for just to be clear. uh, Get a charcoal pencil now. Just a little bit here, so I can. Now I'm still looking at the same object. So another way to think of this is draw this again. See this, I kind of broken up into light and shadow, right? Uh, but if you want to deal with this strictly on a linear approach, I want to focus like on this space here. I'm going to draw first, which is that empty space. And I'm going to focus on this space over there. But see, now I'm not so much concerned with light and shadow. And I think that these two exercises, the continuous line contour and this concept of drawing the spaces around the object, I think those are some of the most, or not the two most important approaches to drawing for beginning students, or anybody that really wants to learn how to draw. If you get good at this, then you can pretty much draw anything. See, this gets you away from drawing symbols. A lot of times we don't draw what we look at. We draw what is in our mind. We have in our mind symbols that represent objects, and they're very difficult to get past. So those two spaces. Check on time. Yeah, time flies when I'm drawing. little bit of a you know, many years ago when I was teaching I was teaching high school. I had this one student. He was autistic. He was great at drawing. Like he could focus on getting these spaces very accurate. Like he had, I guess because of the, I don't know, the spectrum that he was on, amazing ability to focus, precision. And also, I mean, for art making, but very precise. See, I'm gonna focus on this shape. There's details that I'm overlooking here, but I'm gonna finish this. It's like longer. See, when I draw, I try to enjoy whatever it is that I'm drawing. I love to draw the human figure, male, female. That's the most challenging thing to draw. But even this, this, I find this also very enjoyable. As an artist, you have to train yourself to enjoy the process of whatever it is you're creating. I have a commission, a portrait commission, and honestly, I'm not that much into drawing that person, but they're paying me. So it's just part of the training. Right. So that's two examples of positive, negative shape drawing. And it's the thing with the summer classes, they go by so fast. So let me see, somebody. All right, so I'm going to switch to the next drawing. And I believe that let me switch the paper. So you're gonna have to do your own positive, negative shape drawing from your own object. So now I'm going to draw the base. I'll send you a picture. So right here. So you want to look at that picture. And this is it has a lot of nice volume to it. the camera here, of course, can't capture it just breaks it up into very dramatic line shadow. It loses a lot of detail on the light. But I wanted to work on this, and rather quickly. This is a cross contour drawing. What is a cross contour drawing? Well, you're gonna draw lines that go across the form. And maybe that works better with the Sharpie. It's like this line looks here. Well, this works. Yeah, the Sharpie is gonna bleed through the paper. So you want to pull up that image of that vase, and so look, this is the way you're going to draw this. You're going to just draw
Sir,
lines. Yes,
the image of the vase, is it in the same email as the shoe?
it should be, yes.
You sent us a spray bottle,
No vase.
no vase.
You're kidding me.
No,
Let's see
it's
here.
the spray bottle.
Let's see. I see. Hold on.
Ugh.
Okay, there it goes. I just sent it, so you should be getting it. So yeah, the cross contour is you're gonna go. I mean, you can do this in different ways. You can sketch it out. So sketch it out and erase it. I do a lot of erasing when I draw. I need like a little guide.
Sir,
Yes.
for the image, it says that I can't open it. For the image of the vase.
Wonder why. Okay, I'll send it out later. I don't know what the matter. I mean, it's one of those
Okay.
things. But well, look, you sketch it out. But what I want you to do on this drawing is to draw it by, going across the form. You imagine that you're a little ant walking across here, and you have like ink on your legs. You're making a trail. And see the lines that I'm drawing, these are, like I said, cross contour. They describe the surface. And I'm trying to curve them in a way so that they emphasize the volume. Again, this is just a review. You've done this before, right? We hope you guys have. But,
Yeah.
And on that reading that I recommended, it had a drawing of an old telephone. That drawing dates the book, you know. So that's cross contour, and then the handle. This comes in very handy in this concept work in drawing and painting. When you're painting, you know, you want to do this with their brush, you know, to cover it quickly. But if you paint it like this, going across it, it makes it look more convincing in its form. Now here, I'm just going kind of like addressing what I'm able to see, but you can also be done like as it goes away, and then as the form goes away, and then it comes forward, like you're wrapping. So it goes away and it comes forward, away. So like a spiral. So these are examples of cross contour drawing. All right, so these are cross contour. You have to do one cross contour drawing. And then I might go over the time of the class, and I'm just gonna keep recording it, and then I'll post it for you guys. The next one that I'm going to draw is a construction line drawing, and that's the spray bottle.
Classes Oreo.
So look, the spray bottle, what I liked about it is that it's, of course, the top of it is transparent, so it kind of helps in the idea of constructing it. And a drawing like this is, just gonna have to cover it, so I can show you the drawing. A construction drawing is, you know, like when you end up doing what I'm about to do here. I'm going to make the drawing. Let's see the bottle here. I'm going to start the drawing. It's kind of like a architectural drawing, right? I'm going to conceive of the space that is being used by the spray bottle. Like an architectural drawing, right? That's, you know, let's see, that's the box that the bottle comes in, right? And But also this, like this bottom plane here, it helps me in placing the cylindrical form. It's an ellipse. And so within here we have a cylinder, right? And then let's see, this is the top of the cylinder. So I'm constructing the drawing, right? That's what I'm doing, like using basic shapes, basic geometric shape, and a lot of line here to make a very structural, architectonic, drawing. And then there's, I mean, there's many different ways you can break this up. You know, I'm going to put another rectangular prism up here. And I'm going to rush into these. But this, by addressing all these underlying forms, the drawing becomes stronger. Like I'm building it, I'm constructing it. And I can try and visualize the cylinder in there. And also what I like that it has these labels, right? That act like cross contour. Spray bottle of disinfectant. These wrappers. And I can kind of visualize how it wraps around it on the other side. And then the interesting part up here, this, so I can break it up into, you see what I'm doing, just a lot of line, like I'm an engineer here. So when you do this drawing, I want to see a lot of line work. And then we can see the whole apparatus of how the spray bottle kind of works in here. And this comes in very handy when drawing the human figure as well. Makes the figure look more solid when you start trying to figure out what's inside of it. So that's the start of it. Now I can lightly erase this. But you see how I build that drawing with focusing on the underlying geometric forms. See, so that what I've done, I've kind of focused, or I created the framework. So that now I can make this drawing more convincing, more three-dimensional. So that's a construction line drawing. You guys see the approach? It is this reminds me like when I was a lot younger and I took a class on mechanical drawing. We had to draw like little parts of engines and we'd get like a blueprint where it had like they were called elevations, like the front view, the side view, and the top view, and then we had to make them using 2-point perspective, make them look 3D. But we would use rulers. Okay, so that is a construction line drawing. So construction line, cross contour line drawing, positive negative shape, continuous blind contour drawing, and let's see. I think there's 2 more. There is a contour line drawing. So let me switch back to a contour line drawing is just an outline drawing, really. It's a drawing without any value. It is just it is done entirely with line. For that one, I can go back to the sheet. Maybe something easier. I can finish a lot quicker, a lot more quickly here. Well, there's nothing easier than an apple. Nothing easier than a plastic apple to draw. So this, just gonna draw a little apple here. That looks too easy. I'm gonna draw a glass. You see it over there? So a contour line drawing, just it is just a drawing without any value, just line. The ellipse. But you have to be very descriptive with it, like I'm describing the thickness of the glass. Line work that kind of describes the reflections and highlights. There. See, just lines and dashes to describe the surface of the glass. They can be more accurate. Let's try to finish now. All these are reflections of the glass. So that's a contour line drawing. Just contour line drawing. And the last one. So the last one, I'll show you. It's going to be a gestural line drawing. And I have a bunch of different items here in my office. I have this RAM. But of course, it's not going to be very detailed, the drawing. And go like this. I just need a small space to draw this. So a gestural, line drawing is sketchy. In a way, it depended on that continuous blind contour. Very loose. A lot of pouring this. You see, I picked this RAM because it has a good example of also cross contour on the horns here. So there. This is a gestural line drawing. And I think that's it. this, you can keep developing the drawing, but it's, just the gesture line has a lot of quick lines with a lot of movement, a lot of motion, very sketchy. Not so much defined, not as defined as the contour line drawing. And largely dependent on the continuous blind contour approach to drawing. So that's the review I wanted to do for today. And so you guys have to make your own drawings following these techniques, okay? So it'll be, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drawings. And they can be 9 by 12 on your small sketchbook. And I'll post the announcement in a little bit of what you have to do. And then when the video is done processing, I will also upload it. Okay, guys, I think I already went over the time. Do you guys have any questions?